Hello, girls. In the previous class, we have studied how British rule led to agricultural backwardness in India. Today, we are going to move ahead and study the impact of the British rule on other sectors of our economy. Basically, we are going to talk about the industrial sector, the occupational structure, the foreign trade sector, and so on. So, let's look at the impact of the British rule on the industrial sector of the economy. Right, industrial sector on the eve of independence. The British rule led to systematic deindustrialization of the Indian economy. Now, what is the meaning of systematic deindustrialization? It basically means that the British rule led to decay of handicraft industries, and it led to slow growth of modern industries in India. Okay, now let's look at the first one, the decay of handicraft industry. Before the Britishers came to India, India had a very famous and popular handicraft industries. India was, an exporter of a large number of handicrafts like pottery, like, pottery, jute ware, etc. But after the British rule, after the Britishers came to India, it led to decay of the handicraft industry. Why? Because the handicraft, the potters, the craftsmen could not compete with the goods which were machine made, which came from Britain. These goods were machine made. They were of a finer quality, and they were cheaper. So it led to decay of the handicraft industries in India. Also, when the Britishers came to India, they destroyed the princely states. By princely states I mean the darbars and the princely courts. They were destroyed by the Britishers, and these Maharajas and the prince and the princesses, they were they were the patronages of the handicraft. They were the ones who encouraged the handicraft industry. So as a result, the handicraft industry declined in India. But the main reason was because of the because of the import of British goods, which flooded the Indian market. There was a decay of the handicraft industry. Now this led to massive unemployment in Indian economy. A lot of potters, craftsmen, weavers, carpet makers, all these people, they became unemployed. As a result, there was a lot of burden on the Indian economy. The second feature of this systematic deindustrialization is the bleak growth of modern industries in India. Now, the British Raj in India, in the industrial sector, we find that there is absence of any capital good industries. Now, what are these capital good industries? These are industries which produce machines and tools, if machines and capital good industries are absent in an economy, then it cannot lead to industrialization of any economy. Okay, so because there was absence of capital good industries in India, the modern industry did not grew up in India. Okay, and only a few industries grew up. Those two grew up in the second half of the 19th century, and the only industries to grow up were the iron and steel, sugar, cement, and paper industries. They grew in India, and they also grew during the First and the Second World War, when suddenly there was increase in demand for iron and steel and railways. The overall growth rate of the industrial sector was very, very slow, and there were hardly any public sector. There was a very, very limited role of the public sector. The public sector is the sector which is owned and controlled by the government or the state. Now, the Britishers did not want to develop the Indian economy. They did not want to industrialize the Indian economy. So their role was mainly confined to maintaining railways and building of ports. Otherwise, whatever little industries grew up, that was done by the private entrepreneurs. And the first iron and steel industry to be set up was Tisco in Jamshedpur, which is Tata Iron and Steel Company. Then there was absence of consumer good industries like shoemaking, like textiles, because all the consumer demands, goods demand was met by the by import of British goods. and as a result, the Indian industries did not grow up because of lack of demand.